Hydra the Revenge at Dorney Park is one of the most maligned Balzer and Mabbeyard floorless coasters out there. But does this ride deserve as much flack as it receives? This floorless coaster features an impressive 7 inversions, and a super unique layout we have not seen elsewhere. So in this video, I will be reviewing Hydra and explaining why it does have some redeeming qualities. From 1989 through 2003, Dorney Park was home to Hercules, a record-breaking wooden roller coaster from the Din Corporation. Hercules stood just 95 feet, or 29 meters tall, but it opened with a record-breaking 151 foot, or 46 meter tall drop that was the tallest on any wood coaster at the time. Like many Din coasters, Hercules quickly developed into a rough and painful ride. After the 2003 season, the coaster was torn down and Hydra the Revenge was announced for the 2005 season. And this was a very clever name. In Greek mythology, the Hydra is a multi-headed beast with one head that was considered immortal. For Dorney Park's version, Hercules slayed the beast and buried the immortal head underground. But eventually, Hydra grew out of the ground and actually killed Hercules. It was a rather dark twist on the familiar story, because the hero is now dead. But by all accounts, Hydra is a superior ride to Hercules. Beyond the background story for Hydra, there really isn't any theming to be found. That being said, the coaster does look really cool. It has bright green track and an awesome logo. That's something that Cedar Fair always seems to nail, and Hydra is no different. Dorney Park usually has manageable crowds, on the amusement side at least, so Hydra is usually no more than a 10 to 15 minute wait. And the park always runs both trains in this coaster. I have never ever seen them run just one train in Hydra. Each train seats 32 riders across 8 rows. The front tends to have the longest line, like with most B&M loopers. But there is only one place to ride Hydra, in my opinion, the very back row. The inversions feel similar in any row, but there are a few drops that can only be fully appreciated in the back row, and you'll get some airtime back there. The trains feature the familiar B&M over-the-shoulder restraints. They are rather hard, but fortunately, Hydra tracks fairly well. There's some jackhammering in a few valleys, but they don't really cause any headbanging, just vibrations that you can feel in your head. Thankfully, the transitions on this coaster do not cause any headbanging. In fact, there's an argument the transitions on this coaster are too smooth. Hydra's biggest flaw is its intensity, or lack thereof. The early B&M loopers were revered for their snappy inversions and heavy positive Gs. Hydra has neither of these things. This coaster is graceful, almost to a fault, but there are some redeeming qualities. The most notable is the JoJo roll out of the station. Rather than heading right up the lift hill, B&M threw everyone for a loop, literally. Hydra begins with a super slow and elongated heartline roll. The hang time on this element is incredible. It's one of the best sustained hang time moments in the world, and it's even crazier because it feels like your hands can hit the ground beneath you. Hydra then rounds a corner and ascends a lift hill, just as tall as the old one on Hercules. When Hydra was announced, I envisioned this coaster having an identical start to Hercules, dropping down the hillside with a similarly large drop. However, Hydra never drops down the hillside, which actually makes it one of the smallest B&M floorless coasters out there. That being said, it still does have one of the best drops on any B&M looper. Most B&M loopers have twisting drops. Hydra has a straight drop, so if you're in the back row, you get some nice floater airtime the whole way down. It's more reminiscent of a drop on a B&M hypercoaster than on one of their looping coasters, and the drop is technically still larger than the lift hill, as it drops 105 feet or 32 meters. The pullout from the drop is one of the spots on the ride with some shuffling. From here, Hydra traverses a barrage of inversions, but it doesn't follow the usual flow for a B&M looper. There isn't a single vertical loop, and all of the inversions seem to occur out of order. The second inversion is a controversial one, the incline dive loop. Dorney markets this as an inversion, and while it may just barely cross the 135-degree threshold to classify as an inversion, it feels more like an overbanked turn. And unfortunately, it's not a particularly forceful one either. The exit from this element is another valley in the ride with some shuffling, so the boring element is compounded by the rough exit. That's followed by a large and floaty 0G roll ripe with hang time. It's the second best inversion on the ride after the JoJo roll. Then comes a large and slow corkscrew that feels more similar to a 0G roll than a conventional corkscrew. While it doesn't offer as much hang time as the prior 0G roll, it does still offer some light hang time. Hydra then navigates this really awkward Cobra roll. The track entering and exiting this element are almost touching, which causes the element to flare widely outwards. And unfortunately, this element is super forceless. It doesn't really offer any whip, positive Gs, or hang time. It just exists and pads the ride's inversion count. The exit from the Cobra roll is the ride's final shaky valley, and then Hydra coasts over this large S-hill that runs alongside the station. While it looks like it may offer some airtime, it's too slow and drawn out. The final drop that follows does offer some good floater airtime for those in the back. You drop back down to the ground and then zip around a mildly snappy corkscrew. It's the only element on the ride with any sort of whip. Hydra then winds uphill in this forceless helix before hitting the brake run after treating riders to 3,198 feet or 975 meters of track. So what would I rate Hydra the Revenge? I would give this B&M Floorless coaster a 6 out of 10. Hydra is a very flawed roller coaster. It offers barely any positive Gs or whip, which are two hallmark traits for a B&M looper. This leads to some throwaway elements that hurt the coaster's pacing. Instead, Hydra excels where the other B&M loopers don't. It offers an original and contrarian layout with a few elements with great hang time and a few straight drops with some good airtime in the back. Hydra is towards the bottom of my floorless coaster ranks, but I always make sure to get a lap on this coaster whenever I'm at Dorney Park. The ride is fairly smooth and has a great start with that legendary JoJo roll and the airtime-filled first drop. So those are my thoughts on Hydra the Revenge, the B&M Floorless coaster at Dorney Park. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Do you enjoy it for its uniqueness? I would love to hear what you think about Hydra down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.